Good afternoon, it is Saturday the 15th of March, it's 4:15 and I'm just about to log on now to an Uber shift. I'm not sure how long to stay out for tonight, so what I realised on my shift last night was that I think I got about, 7 hours out of a charge, something like that. And basically when I get up to about 10 o'clock I then go on charge, and because it's cold I have the heaters on as it's charging up, which basically makes the charging take longer. So anyway, after a long story short, I come off charge at about 11:30. So it takes probably about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 20, but by the time I come back on, it's like an hour and a half of my life I've lost basically. Whereas in the summer, if you were on charge, the battery charges up quicker, plus you don't have the heaters on, so you're in and out with a full charge within an hour. But anyway, because it's cold, it's currently 8 degrees, but last night it was down to about 2 degrees. Like I said, it's about an hour and a half. So I came back on at 11:30 and worked until 1. And in that hour and a half, I think I got about £53. And then I was kind of thinking, when I got in last night, like, was it worth staying out? Was it worth charging back up? Because obviously I didn't use the whole charge, but so to charge back up cost about £25. And that £25 took me past 11:30, so I could work until 1. And I stopped working at 1 because the jobs started just getting a bit daft and they were few and far between. But in that hour and a half that I worked, I made about, I think it was like £53. So if you deduct that £25 charge, that has enabled me to work that additional hour and a half, then technically I've only earned like £25 in that last hour and a half. And then there's two ways you could look at that. You could then also look at it as in, well, technically you went on charge at 10, so 10 until 1 o'clock is 3 hours. So, but you know, I've paid that £25, which has enabled me to stay out for them extra 3 hours. Granted, an hour and a half of it I wasn't working, but it's then only made me £25. So that's like what, £8 an hour for the last 3 hours. So it's kind of like, what time is a good cut-off time? You know, so I've came out a little bit later today because yesterday I think I started at 3, so I've come out at 4. So now my battery technically should last until about 11. So what's the best thing to do? You know, do you start a bit earlier like I did yesterday, go on charge? Because it's a roll of the dice. You could come off charge, which I've done in the past, when I started in August, September, and at times I was working until 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I think one day I got in about 5 o'clock in the morning. So again, I used my full charge after it because the jobs were still coming through. But if the jobs don't come through, like last night, then there's nothing to do. You've wasted your time, you've wasted your money charging your car back up. And when I say wasted, as in, if you've got a diesel car, it doesn't matter because the price of diesel is going to cost you the same last night as what it's going to cost you today. Whereas when you're charging an EV up, if you charge it up at home, it's 70% cheaper to charge up at night. So, you know, I could have came home, put my car on charge last night at 10 o'clock, ended my shift, and then to charge my car back up is about £3 overnight. Whereas I've gone on a rapid charger, obviously to pick up more customers while I'm out, because it's supposedly a busy Friday night, but it's cost me £25 for the privilege. But then I haven't really, I mean, I've made that back, but for the commitment to do that, it wasn't really worth it. So I'm kind of thinking like, it's hard for me to compare because I haven't been a driver for years and years, but I've seen lots of drivers say March is really slow. So I'm trying to compare March to what it was like in like August and September and whatnot, where, you know, it was a busy at times. The price of what Uber drivers were being paid, even as recently as August and September, we were getting better rates then than what we're getting now. And on top of that, as you know, everybody says like new Uber drivers are fed better jobs for, you know, for the first month or two while you're working. So I'm kind of thinking like, can I still get lots of jobs until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, or is it just completely empty? So I mean, I'm going back and forth at the moment as to whether or not when I get to charge time tonight, do I just call it a night then? So do I work from now, which is coming up to 4:20 now, until probably about 11 o'clock tonight? So basically I'm going to get everyone going out to the restaurants now, people going out to town, and, you know, a lot of people coming back from town. Is it worth going past midnight, you know, to 1, 2, 3 o'clock when it's basically hit or bust? I've had times where it's surging because it's really busy. Maybe some other drivers have gone home, or it's just a busy night. But then I've had times, a bit like last night, it gets to like 1 o'clock in the morning and it's like a ghost town. So then you're thinking, well, maybe I should have come out a bit earlier in the day and, you know, start at, say, midday on a Saturday and get people who are going out for dinner, doing the shopping, family days out, things like that. So I don't know, I'm still tweaking with that. But obviously what also kind of reduces your hours, what I'm comparing March to August, is it's obviously a lot warmer in August. So I'm probably getting like, you know, 30, 40, even up to like 50%, well, not 50, yeah, probably 30% better battery or more miles per kilowatt in the warmer temperatures. So that then enables me to stay out longer and not use the rapid chargers. Yeah, so I'm just kind of like, it's kind of going round in my head at the minute, thinking, do I still go back on charge and stay out a bit later or not? I don't know. I think I'll play it by ear and see what it's like. If it's bouncing later and it's really good, I might go on charge. But if it's just a bit like last night and it's just kind of ticking over, I might just come back, to be honest, because, you know, again, it's very situational, because, like, obviously I've got kids, so I would rather come home. Say if I go out on a Friday night and I stay out till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm knackered then and I don't get up until like 11, sometimes even midday. I might have a couple of hours and then I'm going back out again, and then I repeat that again on the Sunday, because obviously I'm in bed because I've been out till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Whereas if I go out earlier, like today, well, by the time I finish gabbing now, it's going to be about 4:30. But if I come home tonight at like 11 o'clock when my battery runs out, then that's not a late night. I'll be up in the morning for like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at the latest. And then, you know, you've got a good half a day, you know, like family time kind of thing. And then you can repeat that, you know, like on the Saturday night. And then you've got more family time on the Sunday. So yeah, I just don't know at the minute. But like I said, I'll play it by ear, and I'll let you know later what I'm going to do. So first hour's gone by. It's about 5:20, 7 then. Took my first job, which was like the outskirts of Southport, going into Southport. £13.28, 11-minute job, 5.5 miles. I did have to run a couple of miles to it because I live out in the middle of nowhere. Then I had a little Southport to Southport, 3.77, a 4-minute job, 1.2 miles. And then I had an XL, £10.56, 11-minute job, 2.4 miles. So I finished that first hour on 10, 20, about 27 quid, so it wasn't too bad. So yeah, up to now, it's not going too bad. So I'll crack on and I'll see you. So it's been a while. It's now 9:20, so it's been what, about 4 hours, yeah, since the last update. It's been busy, to be honest. Say busy, I'd say almost identical to last night. I've been here, there and everywhere. So where was I? Yeah, I'd done that XL, which had got me over to Southport. I then done a little £6.31. That was 4-minute job, 1.3 miles. Then I done a £4.13, 5-minute job, 1.2 miles. I then accepted a reservation job, which was it was going from Southport to kind of like Bearscough way, which is like Ormskirk. It was £17.90. It took 29 minutes and it was 11 miles. So I just kind of took it because before that, the jobs were all like £5, £6, £4. They were all like kind of low, because it was obviously around 5 o'clock. So I thought I'll take that. So anyway, I took that. So again, bit of a pain because the job popped up. It was quite late. Sorry, when I accepted it, it was like in like 20-30 minutes time. So then I think I only done one other job, which was that £4.13 job before it, and then it wasn't giving me any jobs. So I know it says if you accept these, they'll give you jobs along the way, but they don't. It's as though like they put a block on it to stop you from taking more jobs. So I had like a bit of a quiet spell, because that job, the last job before that was 20 to 6, and then it was a 5-minute job. So then that was quarter to 6, and then nothing. And then at 10 to 6, it pops up saying, now you need to drive over to your job. And the job was literally 2 minutes away. So like I dawdled over. I was doing like 20 mile an hour. I even pulled in at one point, and I really dragged my heels to get there. But then even then, I could only drag it out for like 5 minutes. So then I got there, and it was like, okay, we'll start a 10-minute timer. So you sit there for 10 minutes just doing absolutely nothing on a Saturday night. And then that 10 minutes elapses, and then the normal timer comes up and it says, we have now notified the rider. I'm like, oh, it's a piss take, honestly. So I done that, dropped off in kind of Ormskirk, and then I picked up a job there, surge job. At that point, everywhere was surging. Like all of Ormskirk, all of Wigan, Preston, like absolutely everywhere was all like surging. £7.94, 3-minute job for 0.8 of a mile. Then I had another surge job, £11.66, a 5-minute job, 1.5 miles. Customer cancelled. And then I got to that point there, and that was around 10 to 7. And I was I dropped off, and I was in the middle of nowhere. I was almost halfway between Ormskirk and between Ormskirk and Southport. So I kind of looked on the map, and I never really like trusted the surge bubbles and such. But the whole of Ormskirk was, honestly, it was red. It was like a baboon's arse. And Southport, nothing. So I thought, well, go on then, I'll go to Ormskirk and I might just bounce around and get a couple of little smallish jobs. And honestly, on my kids' lives, the second I crossed that threshold into the red, driving into that bubble into Ormskirk, it just disappeared. I thought, what an absolute load of shite. They just make it up. So I pulled in straight away, and then I sat there. The jobs that were coming up was Wigan. Wigan is like 10-12 miles away, and it wants me to drive all the way there to do like a 1 mile job, and they're offering me like £1 a mile. So I ignored it, click X, another one, Wigan. It just kept coming up and coming up and coming up, and I let it do it probably about 20 times. I don't know if there'd been some sort of footy match or rugby match or whatever. One of them said like the stadium, you see, and I just kept clicking X, and in the end I thought, I'm bored of this. So I thought, I'm just going to do a U-turn, and I'm just going to head towards Southport. So I started driving towards Southport, and then I'm nearly in Southport, and then every job that was coming up then, it was offering me, because it didn't offer me anything then for a couple of minutes. It was Ormskirk. I'm thinking, I've just been there and you're offering me jobs 10 plus miles away in Wigan. I leave that town, I'm now nearly in another town in Southport, and you're offering me jobs back in the town where I've just been. It's like there's a delay, like the app doesn't know where you are. It's so stupid. So I ended up logging off, because all the jobs it was then offering me was Ormskirk. I was getting sick of listening to the bleeping, so I actually logged off because Uber had annoyed me that much. So then after about 10 minutes when I got to Southport, I then logged back on again. It's just stupid. As soon as I landed there in Southport, surge job, definitely wasn't. £5.53, 4-minute job, 0.8 of a mile. Another surge job, £9.09, 5-minute job, 1.7 miles. And then had, including the £2 tip, £8.42 for a 2-minute job, 0.8 of a mile. See, now, if anything, that was a surge job. But it's come through as a normal job. Then I had an XL, £8.47, 6-minute job, 1.7 miles. A 442, 4-minute job, 1.3 miles. A £4.30, which was a 3-minute job, 0.8 of a mile. Then had a £9.55, that was a 10-minute job, going 3.9 miles. I came across a set of lights. This is the stupidity of what the council is like up here. You get to basically like this junction, and you can't go left or right because it's all coned off because of the roadworks, and there's all cones on both sides and a big metal fence, so you can only go straight on. And they've put temporary traffic lights on them, so I've got this guy in the back, the lights go red and we sit there, and I said to him, why have they got lights here? Because you can't turn left or right. And it's not narrow, it's, you know, so we have to sit there for like 5 minutes, and then the lights turn green, and then we carry on. And it was just like, it's almost like someone from the council thought, yeah, let's put these out, let's have a laugh. So temporary traffic lights, which do absolutely nothing. Then I had another customer cancelled, and then I had a £8.54, which was a 7-minute job, 2.3 miles. That was, I picked 4 lads up from like Churchtown, and it's as though like 2 of them don't really hang around with the other 2 anymore or something. And the lad who had obviously booked it, I heard him saying to this other lad who, by the sounds of it, was like a bit of a knob, and he was saying to him, look, don't say anything for this whole journey, and when we get to Lord Street, I'll buy you 2 pints. And then his mate, the other guy who was like, I don't know, who must hang around with him, he turned around and he was like, oh yeah, just ignore him if he says anything. He said, my mate's got a 5-star rating, and obviously he doesn't want to lose it. And then the other guy was saying, oh yeah, he said, oh yeah, thanks for picking us up, because it is kind of in the middle of nowhere. But I only picked her up because it was like £8.50, and it was going to get me back into the town centre. But normally you wouldn't drive out of the town centre to go and get that to bring it back, because it wouldn't be worth it, because it'd be like a 20-minute job for like £8. So then the other lad who they're telling to shut up, he's like, oh, what are you thanking him for? It's his job. And I was sitting there thinking, no wonder they've told you to shut up. And he's saying, and his mate turns around to him, he's like, yeah, he said, no wonder you've got a 3-star rating. He said, because that's how you act and that's how you treat people. Apparently he'd been cracking all sorts of like homophobic jokes or something before he got in. So his mate was saying to him, like, I didn't find your jokes funny and all this. So in the end, his other mate turned around and said, oh, can you turn the music up a bit? And I was like, yeah. I said, do you like this song or something? He said, no. He said, it's just to drown him out, so we haven't got to listen to him. I was like, is this like the youth of today? Like, they'll still hang around with people who are knobs for the sake of what? If I knew someone who was a knob, I'd just get rid of him. Like, I just wouldn't hang around with him. But I don't know if these like 19, 20-year-olds still hang around with people. So yeah, dropped them off, and then I had a little tiny job. Picked the guy up. Little £3.76, 3-minute job, 1 mile. It was only just as he was getting out, because he was asking loads of questions about like, is this like electric and all that, and what sort of miles do I get, and then he said, oh yeah, he said, back where I live, he said, I'm on the taxis as well. But then I pretty much pulled up and he got out, so I didn't have a chance to ask him like where he was from or anything like that. But he said he was driving a 5 Series, a diesel. But yeah, I was just basically telling them all the benefits of having an electric. Obviously some of the negatives as well, like I always share them. So yeah, that's where I'm up to. So up to now I've done, what have I done? I've done 5 hours, 4 hours 7 minutes drive, 17 trips. I'm on 137.63, which is almost identical to last night. In fact, yesterday when I got to this time, I think I was on around 150 just before I went on charge, and I'd done an extra hour's work as well because I came out earlier yesterday. So technically, yeah, I've done an hour less today. I've more up to now. Well, almost. So sorry, what was we on? 137 over the 5. So I'm on 27.40 an hour, which isn't too bad. Been been getting loads and loads and loads of ridiculous jobs, and I mean absolutely ridiculous tonight. Took a screenshot of this one. This was the biggest job that's come up. It was £54.37. I don't even know where I was at that point. Where was I? Must have been Southport way. They wanted me to go 20 minutes or 7.7 miles to Preston, to then go an hour or 46 miles to Manchester Airport. So basically you're looking at roughly, it says an hour and 20, which means it's going to be about an hour and a half, bearing in mind by the time you get to the customer, they're going to the airport, they're going to have all sorts of luggage, you're getting it all in, and then when you get out the other end, you're tipping them out. So that's why you always add time on. So you're looking at least an hour and a half there, and that was 7:15. So yeah, it's going to take you roughly an hour and a half, and you're going to do at least 55 miles. So it's offering you £1 a mile to the airport, or £54 for an hour and a half work. So I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, for me, if I was doing that like privately, you know, it's going to be well over £100. Off the top of my head, it'd probably be like 120 quid, something like that, for me to entertain that. So yeah, I certainly wouldn't entertain that. I know someone would have, you know, crawled over broken glass to do that. They would have been that excited to see it, but yeah, not for me. So yeah, I'm down to my last 22 miles of range. I'll just go back online now, because it's been so busy. Because I'm on that nearly £30 an hour, and obviously town is busy. I suppose I'll carry on. I'll take this one. It's probably not the best in the world, but if when I drop them off, I'm going to finish not far from the charging point where I need to go, because it's coming up now to 20 to 10. So if it comes to, I hate the way you asked to do a job, thinks about it, then comes up saying, oh sorry, you know, all the jobs, all the requests are taken, and then what normally happens is it then pops up to say, oh yeah, we've passed it to you, but no, looks like it's gone to someone else anyway. But yeah, that would have been handy, because now I'll start heading down towards the charger direction, and I'll take jobs kind of along that way. I mean, it's only like a 7 or 8 minute drive away, but yeah, I'll find something to time me over for the next there's one here, which is, I think they're just behind me probably. Yeah, I'll take this one, and they are just behind me at the View Cinema. So I'm in the car park here, so they're 10 seconds away. So I'll go and pick them up anyway, and I'll catch you after I've charged. So this is the first time that this has happened. I'll spin the camera around now, because you won't be able to see me because it'll be pitch black. So I've just got over to the charging points where I normally come to, and it's the first time I've seen basically both bays taken. This is obviously one of the issues that, you know, a lot of people complain about, or they don't want to make the move over to electric because of this exact reason. So it's like there's only 2 bays here. The next one is probably half a mile away, but it's a different company and it's more expensive. So I've got here now, my range has disappeared, which means I've probably got like, I don't know, maybe about 5 miles left, probably less now because I'm sat here with the heating on. So yeah, I have to now wait to use these charging points. So I got here just after 10 o'clock. I'd say 9 times out of 10 when I get here, they're both empty and it's just me, and then every blue moon another car will then turn up for like a little bit of a charge, but it's rare, to be honest, that happens. So yeah, I mean, as I was parking up, I had a glance over at the screens and it looked like both of them were not far off being fully charged. But yeah, it's just one of the one of the gripes, really. I mean, you would have thought with the, you know, the big push for EVs from the government and every other Tom, Dick and Harry, there'd be more charging points. Like, what's the stop Insta out there putting 10 charging points in a big line along there? You know, granted, obviously it costs a fortune, but you know, what's what's going to happen when more and more people make the switch over to electric. You know, this is a prime example now. I mean, I think I'm the only electric kind of Uber I've seen like round here, and I know there's going to be other electrics, but I'm never parked here doing a shift and another private hire driver has ever pulled up alongside me to charge theirs up. So yeah, it's just something to keep in mind if you're thinking about making the switch over to electric. It's this is one of the issues that you'll run into. So yeah, God knows when these two are going to be finished. Yeah, but I've got no choice but but to wait. Like I said, if I drive somewhere else, it's more expensive, and I can't go too far. I could get over there and it's out of order, and then I run the risk of not being able to make it back because I haven't got enough. I haven't got enough electric left. So yeah, I'll see what happens, and I'll give you an update on that later on my next update. So it's just after 12:30. Before, when I got to the charges about 10, I had to wait for about 20 minutes, and then someone was full. I was able to jump on charge. Luckily they'd just finished, because the other car that was on there, it looks like they'd just gone on charge, and I actually left just before they left. And obviously I came off charge just before 11:30, so I was on charge for about an hour and 10 minutes. So yeah, if that other car would have pulled up at the same time as the other one, basically, I would have been sat there till 11:30 until I went on charge. So yeah, came back on, got my first job at 27 minutes past 11. It was a Surge, an XL job, 4-minute job, 1.5 miles. I then done a £5.85, which was 7 minutes, 2.4 miles. I then had a £6.46, 10-minute job, 2.8 miles. I had another XL, £7.54, which was a 4-minute job, 1.6 miles. And then I've just done, because it was 100 yards away from that XL job, a £3.79, 2-minute job, half a mile. So in the past hour, it was quite good, because I logged off, said I've done £35 and 2 pence. I've been offered 26 jobs and I've completed 5. So overall I'm currently on just over 183, and I've now done 7 hours. So that brings the hourly rate into £26.14. So yeah, not too bad. That last couple I had in, they got in, they were amazed at the size of the car. You know, the comforts and armrest and this and that and all the rest of it. And they were saying, oh, last time we went to Liverpool, he said, we had some Scouser. I don't think they realised I was Scouser, maybe they did. They said, we had some Scouser driving us back in some shitty little Corsa all the way from Liverpool, talking about Liverpool Football Club. And he's going, oh yeah, feel free to vape. He said, and then she was like, oh, I haven't got a vape. I've only got ciggies. He's like, yeah, that's fine. He said, get a ciggy on the go if you want and all this. If you've got any cans or anything, feel free to have a drink. You know, and this is what other drivers are dealing with. You know, you've got these idiot drivers out there who are basically telling people to smoke. And then when, you know, I get passengers in, and then they're like, oh, is it okay to vape? And you're like, no. And they're like, oh, the other driver doesn't mind us doing it. And I'm like, well, I'm not the other driver. You know, you might want to die of cancer. Don't they say 2 in 3 smokers die of lung cancer? I don't want to die of lung cancer, thanks. Go and do that on your own time. But, you know, like I said, this is what happens when other idiot drivers don't mind people doing that. So, yeah, I'll carry on, stay around here for a bit, and hopefully the next hour is the same as the last. And I'll keep you... So, it's just turned 1:30 and I've just got home. It just went really crap. So after the last update, it was 12:30. I had one little job in Southport, £3.79, 2-minute job for half a mile. Had a little drive around Southport because nothing was going on for about 5 or 10 minutes. I had another little small job, £6.12 for a 6-minute job, 2.5 miles. And then everywhere just started to look empty. All the Hackneys were all parked up on Lord Street. So I thought, yeah, it's a little bit crap around here now, so it wasn't far off 1 o'clock. I drove towards Ormskirk, which is like, 10-15 minutes. Got into Ormskirk. A couple of jobs popped up, but they were either like into Liverpool city centre. There was like one back to Southport again, which I couldn't be bothered, because like I could have took it. It was like, for like 15 quid. But then you get back to Southport and it's empty again, so it's pointless. And there's just like little jobs here and there, nothing major. And then there was one, I think one come up, it was like £4.80, multiple stops. I was like, what the fuck, as if. So so I just started heading home. Left it on the majority of the way home, but then some of the jobs that were just coming through were just really stupid. I took a screenshot of one of them. One was they wanted me to drive nearly 15 minutes back to Southport, or 7 miles, to do a 2-mile job. So 9 miles all in. And they were offering £4.95, and that was exclusive, apparently. So it just started getting ridiculous. So like I said, I started heading back, nothing decent come up, so I thought, right, so we just logged off. That was it. So basically I finished on £189.40. I've done 8 hours. Should have worked that out, shouldn't I? 189 over the 8, so £23.60. Not the greatest, thought it would have been better, but in the last hour, because I've only done them 2 jobs, it was like £9 something. So it just goes to show, and it goes on what I touched on before I started the shift this afternoon. I don't think it's worth, not in this area anyway. It's obviously going to be different if you're working in a city, city centre or something, but I just don't think it's worth working after like midnight, to be honest, because at the latest 1, but even then I just don't get it, because like I said, between 12:30 and 1:30, I've made £9, so there's no point working that time. I know yesterday between 11:30 and 1, I think it was, when I finished, I made like 53. But yeah, it just seems to be, I feel as though I would rather come out at like, on a Saturday, I'd rather come out at like midday and work through till like midnight. I'd rather do my 12 hours there, I think, rather than just this, because like I said, I feel as though for like the last hour and a half, it's kind of just painful, and you're just waiting around for a job to come through, and it starts to feel a bit like the dead hours on a weekday. So I'll probably change that up a little bit next weekend. I think I'll be starting earlier, and then basically I won't be working past midnight, I don't think, because like I said, it was a bit pointless doing that last night, and same again tonight. So that's about it. Yeah, I've done 25 trips this evening. 5 hours 29 was driving. And that's about it. I've got another 17 more points to collect to keep platinum status. And that's it. Nothing else has popped up. There was a reservation job that popped up for tomorrow, but not really my cup of tea. Do you want me to be online for 11:30? To pick a group up from Skelmersdale and take them it's kind of Maghull kind of way. It's an XL job, £26.42. It's a 12-minute job going 8 miles, so it's not too bad. The rate's good, the mileage, but yeah, it just means me, if and when Uber ever get rid of this stupid be online half an hour before the booking, and then if they ever stop sending you to the job like 20 minutes before, I'll probably start doing more. Like if that was just be there for 12 to pick them up, I'll probably be more inclined to do it, to be honest, because I could go out, get them, drop them off, and I'll be back at mine, and I would have completed that job within like 30-40 minutes max. So then you think, oh, it's not too bad, made 26 quid in between 30 and 40 minutes, but it's not, because it's going to be, they want you online at 11:30. They're not going to give you any jobs, because they never do, even though they say they do. And then by the time you've dropped them off and then got home, it's turned it into an hour job, so it's just not worth it. So yeah, that's about it. I'll wrap it up there, and I will catch you on the next one, which is going to be Monday now.